Hello and welcome back to Football Daily, where today we are doing a presenter-led 10. On this occasion, I'm running through my 10 transfers that Football Daily got wrong. Let's get into it. 10. Ousmane Dembele. We at Football Daily were pretty excited when Barcelona paid Borussia Dortmund €105 million to sign Ousmane Dembele in August 2017. Followers of him since his breakout at Rennes, we had watched the now 21-cap Frenchman develop into one of Europe's most exciting talents, one capable of contributing 18 league goals in 33 games in 2016-17. His 5.2 shot creating actions per 90, a figure topped only by Messi and Trincao in the current Barcelona side, as well as 103 completed take-ons, 20 more than next best Naby Keita, suggested the then 20-year-old would be ready for the step up. But Dembele simply hasn't lived up to the billing. 9 separate injuries have seen him miss 80 games, while the 3 separate managers he has worked under have never trusted him to start more than 20 league games in a single season. Still just 23 years old and having contributed 6 goals in 12 League and Champions League games this term, there are signs that Dembele is starting to turn it around, but for now, you certainly can't classify it as a success. 9. Zlatan Ibrahimovic. When Zlatan Ibrahimovic returned to AC Milan in January 2020, we at Football Daily barely raised an eyebrow. After all, here was a 38-year-old footballer who had spent the last 2 years playing in the MLS and hadn't scored a goal in a European top 5 league since April 2017. Not only that, but with the Rossoneri 11th in the table when he signed his €3.5 million contract for 6 months, it was felt that money could have been better spent elsewhere. But how wrong could we have been? The 39-year-old has netted an incredible 22 goals in 30 games since then, with 11 in 10 this term as AC Milan sit 5 points clear at the top of Serie A. Currently averaging 1.27 expected goals per 90, the best record in Europe, it's no surprise the Rossoneri have lost just 4 of a possible 40 games since his return, half that of Liverpool in the same period. 8. Rodri. Prior to Rodri's arrival at Man City, we had heralded him as the best emerging defensive midfielder in the world. In his 1 year at Atletico following his €20 million move from Villarreal, he married 4.6 tackles and interceptions with 5.1 passes into the final third, second in the squad to Koke. With Fernandinho having missed 15 games with injury across the previous campaign, 5 times more than across the previous 4 seasons combined, Man City wasted little time in signing Rodri for a club record £62 million. Despite missing just 3 league games since, he has struggled to fill his Brazilian teammates' enormous shoes. Just 1.6 tackles per 90 this term, 6th in the squad with a paltry 57% success rate, pales in comparison to Fernandinho's 2.2 per 90 with a 75% completion rate from 2018-19. Factor in just 5.1 progressive passes per 90, 62% of Fernandinho's total from 2018-19, and it's clear Rodri hasn't been quite the success we all expected. Before I go any further, just a quick reminder to subscribe to Football Daily and hit that notification bell to never miss one of our fantastic top 10s. 7. Timothy Castagne. When Leicester City signed Timothy Castagne for £21.6 million this summer, the 8th biggest fee in their history, we at Football Daily were left a little confused. The Foxes had just lost England international Ben Chilwell to Chelsea and replaced him with arguably Atalanta's 3rd best fullback after Gosens and Hateboer, and one that predominantly played on the right-hand side. But Rodgers had a plan. Knowing Ricardo Pereira was out until the end of the year, Rodgers has utilised James Justin on the left-hand side and even 34-year-old Christian Fuchs, allowing the Belgian to wreak havoc on the opposite flank. Prior to his hamstring injury, Castagne contributed 2 goals and 2.3 tackles and interceptions per 90. Whilst nothing compared to Pereira's monstrous 6.1 per 90 last term, the Belgian is far from a liability, being dribbled past just 0.2 times per 90, the best record for any fullback in the Premier League. Whilst his tally of 51 metres carried per 90 is less than half that of Pereira's from last term and suggests that the Portuguese will regain his starting spot before too long, Castagne has already proved himself to be a useful squad player and an astute signing. 6. Luis Suarez. Whilst no one at Football Daily ruled out the chance of 33-year-old Luis Suarez having an impact at Atletico Madrid, few would have predicted what was to come. After all, the 116-cap Uruguayan had seen his goal tally drop from 35 to 25 and last season 21, with 9 separate injuries since the start of 18-19, removing his trademark explosiveness and starting spot at Barcelona. So when Ronald Koeman told the club's 3rd top goalscorer of all time that he was no longer part of the plan, we could sort of see the logic. But after signing a 2-year contract with Los Rojiblancos, Suárez has shown that trademark tenacity in exacting revenge, racking up 5 goals and 1 assist in his first 7 league games of the campaign. Playing with the fury only a jilted player can, his shots have leapt to 5.5 per 90, his best since 13-14, while his expected goals of 0.73 is only topped by Martin Braithwaite at Barcelona. With Los Colchoneros now 12 points clear of Barcelona and La Liga favourites, it's clear Luis Suarez got the last laugh over all who doubted him. 5. Jorginho. When Jorginho signed for Chelsea on the 14th of July 2018, it seemed like a masterstroke. Here was a 26-year-old midfielder with 3 years of playing under their new manager Maurizio Sarri, stolen from under the nose of Manchester City. And from a statistical point of view, we at Football Daily were very excited. Across his final campaign in Naples, the 27-capped Italian had contributed 6 league goals, along with 3.8 tackles and interceptions per 90, and 442 passes into the final third, the best record in Europe. But so far in England, it hasn't gone exactly to plan. His former manager Sarri was immensely unpopular at Stamford Bridge despite his 62% win percentage, 8% more than Frank Lampard, and Jorginho suffered through association. And in 2019-20, Lampard's use of both Mount and Havertz in a midfield three has seen Jorginho's game time plummet, with no league starts since the 24th of October. With N'Golo Kante now completing more passes into the final third, Jorginho's USP is slightly redundant. And with no Blues player dribbled past more than his 1.8 times per 90, Lampard simply can't afford the risk. A move in the next 12 months is surely beckoning. 4. Bruno Fernandes. Whilst we at Football Daily didn't believe Bruno Fernandes would be a poor signing necessarily, we were certainly sceptical over his initial impact at Man United. Yes, he had shown unbelievable form for Sporting CP in the previous 18 months with 28 goals and 20 assists in his final 50 Liga NOS games. But we had seen very few attacking signings go from Portugal to a top 5 league for serious money. Prior to João Felix's mega money move to Atletico in 2019, you'd have to go back to May 2013 for the previous such example, when James Rodriguez joined newly promoted Monaco. And his high-risk football, which saw him attempt 2.4 shots from outside the area and 7.9 long balls per 90, 0.5 more than defensive midfielder Matic, could have gone one of two ways. But of course the initial £49.5 million has been more than paid back, with 15 goals and 11 assists in his first 24 league games, not to mention his league-leading stats for passes into the penalty area and progressive passes. 3. Mats Hummels. When Borussia Dortmund paid £27 million to Bayern Munich to bring back former player Mats Hummels, it seemed like a mistake. The 70-cap German international was approaching his 30th birthday and his body was starting to catch up with him, with 11 games missed with injury across the 2 preceding campaigns. And whilst his impact was far from instantaneous, with Dortmund conceding 40 league goals for the 5th time in 6 years in 2019-20, this year he has really come to the fore. Despite defensive injuries that have seen Akanji, Zagadou and Schultz all miss games, Hummels has marshalled the backline superbly, with their 10 league goals conceded, 6 fewer than Bayern Munich and the 3rd best record in Germany. And Hummels has been key to that. Not only has he completed 89% of his tackles, 14% more than Virgil van Dijk in the season he won PFA Player of the Year, and 7.9 long balls per 90, 3rd in Europe behind Kimmich and Ramos, but he's also chipped in with 3 goals. Haaland might grab all the headlines at the other end, but if Dortmund are to end their 9-year wait for a Bundesliga title next May, Hummels will arguably be even more important. 2. Sébastien Haller. It's fair to say that when West Ham signed Sébastien Haller from Eintracht Frankfurt for £45 million in the summer of 2019, few fans would have predicted how it would turn out. The then 24-year-old had scored 33 goals in 77 games for Diada since joining from Utrecht, helping them to a DFB Pokal triumph and a 7th place finish in his final campaign, their best since 2012-13. His 15 goals and 29 appearances was impressive, but it was his 1.6 key passes per 90 which led to 9 assists, only topped by Kostic and his side, that suggested the former French under-21 international had the necessary attributes to succeed in England. Sadly for him and the Irons though, it hasn't worked out. Just 5 goals in his last 35 Premier League games has seen him be replaced by utility man Mikel Antonio, and his 0.32 expected goals per 90 less than Ollie McBurney doesn't suggest that'll change anytime soon. 1. Nicolas Pepe. There's no two ways about it, Nicolas Pepe was absolutely superb in his final campaign in France. 33 league goal contributions in 38 games, topped only by Messi, Mbappe and Quagliarella, made Pepe one of the most exciting prospects in European football. Fresh from finishing 5th in 2018-19, Arsenal saw Pepe as the man to bring them back to the Champions League, and signed him for £72 million, the 6th biggest fee in the division's history. But it seemed like the Gooners just hadn't done enough of their research. 9 of his 22 league goals that campaign came from the spot, meaning his non-penalty goals per 90 stood at 0.35, just 0.02 more than Mkhitaryan managed that campaign. But some of the blame must rest with Pepe, capable of getting 1.4 shots on target per 90 in France that fell to 0.8 last term, while his successful take-ons have collapsed from 3.2 to 1.9 this campaign. Playing in a side shorn of confidence that ranks 13th in the Premier League according to expected points, the last thing he or Arteta needed was a 3-game ban for a headbutt. This could get really nasty. So guys, that was our rundown of 10 transfers Football Daily got wrong. What did you think of the new presenter setup? And did we miss any out? Let me know in the comments down below. As I said earlier, don't forget to like the video, leave a comment and subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you next time.